Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thank you for joining us. If you're liking the show, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you'd like to reach out to the show, you can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles, and on Facebook at Casting Roles ILM, and on TikTok at Casting Roles ILM as well. Our videos are uploaded on Friday on YouTube, and we occasionally stream on Wednesdays on Twitch. But with no other announcements, we'll go ahead and start the show. So, ticket takers, after arriving in Anarvir after your journeys in Feldspar, you explored the city for a little bit, reconnected with the Amalia Windsor, who is Jury's aunt and also Marlowe's mother figure, and then decided to go and spend the evening in a casino. You made your way to Marid's Wager, the beautiful construction in the center of the theater district, and introduced Kaimana to the games of chance, which he did very well at. And then we made it to a point where Abel decided that it was a smart idea to tinker with the slot machines. And with the help of Anansi, managed to win the jackpot of 100 gold, which drew the attention of the guards who had rolled a natural 20 on their perception. Being taken back to the back room, Abel met the real owner of Marid's Wager, the godmother, who bakes cookies, who basically threatened Abel into an agreement to gather information on Uriel Dane, one of the patricians and a member of the Curia Regis. Meanwhile, everyone else had a restful evening at the at the casino, diving into mud pits, spending some quality time with family in the hot springs, winning some cash at the craps tables, just your normal stuff. Marlowe was approached by a lost, not friend, nemesis figure from their past, Yara Vartan, who led them to a challenge of not a blood pit challenge, but a battle pit challenge at the local wine cellar.
I want it on the record that Yara is not my nemesis. I do not think about her. She's directly talking to me.
I need to know if she's your nemesis for reasons. All right. So, and then you all made your way back to the Naiad's bargain, and then decided to get some late night tattoos and went to the Inkwell, proprietor Linux Peck, doing a tattoo for Saurus, a beautiful tattoo on his neck, and then a tattoo of a crashing wave on Marlowe, which managed to also cure some of the scarring that Marlowe had since they were a child. But returning back to the Naiad's bargain, you went to sleep and spent a restful evening, sleeping in a little bit because of how late the night went, but the morning calls you all. But at some point during the night, Marlowe, in your sleep, peaceful and restful, but then there's a moment where you find yourself on a dark plane. Your eyes are open in your dream, and you're looking around, but there's nothing as far as you can see. And then a single drop of water appears in the air before you and falls, and ripple of waves spread out from that point, and a bluish light energy begins to light this plane. And you hear a familiar voice. My champion.
Hi. How are you?
Restful.
Still sleeping.
Still sleeping.
Yeah. I don't know why I asked. What's going on?
The danger is getting closer.
Oh God.
A castle in the sky. Will my champion defend? Call come.
Yeah. We have two hide bogs. We're not going to let, if they get in, we're going in with them. They're not going to get to you.
I look forward to seeing you in person. Perhaps
Yeah, me too.
we can bring about change together.
I hope so.
Be strong, sleep well, but come soon.
Got it.
And slowly the rippling waves recede back, and that single point of water descends into the air and vanishes in a burst of light. And then you awake. All right. So, with morning light shining through the curtained windows in your various inn rooms, you are free for a day in Anarvir. What would you all like to do?
Mar gathers the party.
Are you gathering?
The party is
Are you
gathered.
gathering in our room, or are we gathered at like the breakfast table?
No, we're
In the
gathered
bar.
in our room. I assume like after breakfast.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, like
if-
everybody's gone out.
Yeah,
you
if
know.
you'd like a breakfast, there is a basic breakfast that's provided, but if you'd like something a little more hearty, it's a 3 copper for a heartier Anarvir style breakfast. So if you'd
I'll
like
pay it for
that,
you
you can
guys.
go ahead and do
God.
that.
Can I say that when
3, 6,
Marlo
9,
comes
12.
knocking on the door, she finds Abel like hunched over on the bed with the covers over his head with a little light reading.
Yeah.
I spent the whole night just reading my book. I was too, wound up with the whole godmother situation.
Abel.
I had a lot on my mind tonight, so just reading helps to calm me.
And you take
Okay,
a point of exhaustion.
Well, take it easy today, okay?
There's no need to worry about me. I will be fine.
Oh, Abel.
To the point
I
of
have to
exhaustion.
worry about you, I think.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
fine. Don't look,
I will be perfect.
we've all done fuck ups. This is your turn. It's your turn to be the fuck up of the group. That's okay. It's happened to all of us. Last time was Jury. Now it's you.
It's just, it's nothing to worry about. I'm sure I can fix the situation.
I believe in you. Yeah, we got your back. It's fine. Getting information on patricians is my specialty, so don't worry about it.
I don't hear any of this, do I?
No, this is Abel and unless you all bunk down
Is
together.
it
but I
Abel and
think-
Source's
No.
room?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's Abel and
me-
Sources.
Yes.
Yeah, because I think you either slept on the ship or you roomed with us.
I'm on the ship.
Okay, you went back to sleep on the ship. Yeah.
So all of my all of my ability checks.
Are at disadvantage, yes.
Just
All right.
Ability checks are an advantage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gather everybody to the room, and I would like to do such a good make sure that nobody's in the rooms around us. The windows are closed. Nothing. No fucking Yorian 2.0 is gonna listen
Oh,
in
I'll
on
help.
this.
I'm not
convo.
getting burned by this again. I'll roll
Okay.
perception.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
I would like to help.
I got
Alright.
it.
Yeah,
Could
Kaimana
we
comes
were-
from the ship later and joins you all for breakfast.
Could the tiny hut be made impervious to sound?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so, but I'm working
Is
on
it?
something, so don't you worry. I got a natural 20, so
Okay.
I take Source's gun and shoot if anyone's.
So
Yeah,
your dice reflect your paranoia.
yeah.
Yeah.
You scan the alleyway behind the Naad's Bargain. You don't see anybody there. You listen carefully at the doors around you, and they seem like that next door to you is Abel and Source's room, but the room next door seems empty. You don't hear any shifting or sounds there, so you feel like you
Okay.
are in a very safe space.
Okay. All right. Hey everybody. Welcome to Anavia. I know that we've got a bit on our plate. There's a lot of things we want to do, and I remember that we had talked before about things we should and should not say in front of people, right? Everyone remembers when we went over this? Yeah.
Why do I
Okay.
think this is specifically meant towards me?
It's not. It's meant towards most of you.
Soros,
No, it is okay if it is.
Soros,
I've told you
yesterday,
this before.
Soros, yesterday in the bath, you kind of said Ahriman in front of everyone, so it is about you specifically.
You what?
Whatever. That's what I'm saying. This is why we're having this conversation, right? I told him not to do it right after that, but like,
See,
this
I,
is a
listened.
blanket
I listened. I listened.
Yeah.
So this is why I've made a little cheat sheet for everyone. Now, this is going to, we're going to look at it now. We're going to go over it together. We're going to help memorize it. This is not something we walk around carrying. I'm going to take it back with me when we're done, okay? But I just want us all to be prepared and ready to go whenever, things arrive, okay? So just, this is the list.
Words we do not say in public. Okay, I said that one. Did not say that one.
You guys,
Source,
and
I don't know
Feldspar
if I
spend
need to
time
know
on.
every word you've said. I think it's gonna make my blood pressure skyrocket.
Oh no, it's over half of them I haven't said.
Great, that's great. And then we can just keep minimizing the list. Yeah,
Okay, so I don't have to be here for this meeting, right? Like,
jury, this is a team. This is a team effort.
oh, for them,
Okay.
I got it. For everyone else, okay, I got it. I'm here in spirit.
Whatever,
Jury is like not paying attention.
whatever you want. Also, you'll note that I have the list of people that you are allowed to talk to things with. Now, reminder, you don't talk about this in public if those people are around, right? But if you're in a enclosed space and you have staked it out and you believe that you've seen things, then you can certainly talk to the list of pre-approved people. And like I said, if you have an impulse, you have a really big impulse to just say words, like a lot of you do, then you just clarify. You just make sure before talking. We all have a little group convo of, oh, do we want to let someone know about these things? Do we want to talk about this? And then we go,
Hang on 1 second.
You're okay.
Oh
If-
no.
If unsure of
Okay,
something,
yeah, Kaiman's
is
paying
illegal.
attention.
Oh, good job.
Good for
Kaimana.
Kaimana. It's
Character
great.
Unsure if
Gross.
something is illegal, please fucking ask. Okay,
Yeah.
who are we supposed to ask?
me.
Me or
Oh.
Mark?
I think it's a group convo, right? Everybody can get their input in.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, you just check in with someone else in the group, I'll say, right? You just check in, you make sure that, because sometimes it's easy in your head to come up with an idea and it's good to just run it past someone else and make sure there are no obvious downsides that you'll just overlook.
Kaimana, will you be my partner in this?
Some of us have assigned partners.
That was a joke.
You
I
know
know,
what?
okay.
I'll do this. This is what we'll do. Kaimana, you're my partner. Saurus, your jury's partner. Abel, pick your partner.
I
We'll be
wonder.
fine.
You know what, Abel? I'll get you. You know what, Abel? I'll tag team. We can be like a 3. We can be a group of 3.
It sounds fair to me.
And I'll do the same with you guys too. This is not me trying to parent. This is just so we can open the door for conversation. Like I'll say right now, I think we should talk to Volmir Rylis about what his dad is doing and get his input and see if he can go investigate within the Violet Cloister and see if he can find the leak there.
We should talk to the Archmage first to find out if, from what you said, that if
Yes, that was the plan.
Volus
For sure.
had
I
had-
assume that went okay because I haven't heard anything about Volmir Rylis being arrested. So I assume that we're good there. But, obviously if something comes up and then we don't talk to and we don't trust Volmir Rylis, but it would be really good to have someone within the Violet Cloister on our side is my idea. Does anyone have any comments, concerns, or questions? No?
No, we Kaimana.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, if one comes up, you just pull me aside, or you pull me or Abel aside, and we discuss and we figure it out. Okay.
And Abel, just make sure you have both your bags of holding today.
I've got one of them.
Oh, yes.
No,
both.
the special
Both your bags.
bags of holding.
Yeah, we're gonna try to deal with
Richard?
that today.
You-
We're gonna start with the
both
Archmage.
you guys. Yes, yes.
Oh, I have the one with the skull in it.
Okay, well,
Okay.
that's I really think we shouldn't ask the Archmage to deal with a flaming soul. That feels insane.
So
but
No,
I
no,
do
no, no.
think-
That's what I was going to say. We should keep this. This is
And
essentially
see, when you want to use it, you just come to your
want
buddy.
to throw it at an enemy. I know you really want to do that crap, and I love that for you. And I am hoping that works out one day, so we can keep that. You keep that, and
Okay.
then Abel, hopefully, we can actually get your bag of holding back.
Yeah, there are things that I will at some point need to retrieve from the bag.
Oh.
Well, I hope the
Mhm.
answer isn't we just explode or destroy the bag of holding. I'm hoping it's get our attacks out.
No,
exercise.
that particular one was created as an infusion, so it's not a big loss.
Oh, you're talking about the other one. I understand.
Yes.
I am following.
The flaming skull one was one that I created.
Oh, well, it looks
Are we
beautiful.
allowed to say Artax's name?
We should add that to the list.
I'm gonna guess no.
Kaimana, very good guess.
I'm like looks over at Abel and smiles.
Saurus, you
Um,
just hear in your head, I can answer that this evening when I feed.
Oh no.
Cool. So we're all agreed.
Yep, we're going to Lenaria, right?
Yep.
First thing plan. Lenaria, Miss.
And everybody's gonna be cool in front of the Archmage, right? Everybody's gonna be respectful.
Are you
and
gonna be cool?
In front of the Arch. I'm always cool. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're great.
Well,
You're
actually,
so
there's
sarcastic.
Me?
All right. So you all make your way out of the Naiad's Bargain and walk the familiar path, Marlo, that you know, back up through the theater district into the Prisma Quarter, and then slightly beyond that into the area that is controlled by the Violet Conclave. You all see these large, tall walls of ivory stone encircling with, at this point of the day, the gate to the conclave is open, although certain areas of the conclave are guarded off for only those who are members of either the conclave or attending as students of the Violet Cloister to actually go to those areas. But you make your way towards the center place, and you see the 9 tall towers that encircle a center kind of building space, and each tower is very unique and individual. There are some that are tall and dark in construction. There are a few that have like a whimsical, almost fey air to them. But you make your way to the one that you know is very familiar to you as Lenaria Mistweaver's tower, which is, for somebody who is the leader of the Violet Conclave, is the smallest of the towers, and it's a very simple construction, and just has a simple roof, peaked with purplish color tiling, and a few open windows, and there's a door at the front, and you knock for a moment, and the door just swings open, and you all hear in your mind rather than out loud, come in. There are muffins at the base. I'm just getting ready. I'll be down in a moment.
Muffins!
Me and Kaimana just.
And you walk in, and Mara, you've been in this space before, but it's very odd because you're not in what appears to be the room of a tower. You're in a well-proportioned sitting room. There's beautiful furniture. There's a table at the side that has, fresh, warm to the touch muffins with a light glaze on the top. There's a decanter of water next to it, and another one of a light breakfast ale. But there's not a very clear distinction that this is a building that goes higher. You get the sense that you might be in an alternate plane of reality at this point in her in her tower. But
So it's bigger on the inside.
it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
I swear I made the same joke when I was here before.
But a few moments later, a doorway opens at the back of the room, and the coming down a set of stairs behind the doorway, you see the striding figure of the tall, carries herself very nobly, Lenaria Mistweaver. And for those of you who have not met her, an older drow woman. It's hard to tell age with elven creatures, but a deeper purplish gray skin, long white locks currently kind of plaited back into a single braid that goes down her back, and she's wearing a very simple but elegant in construction violet robe that kind of just drapes across her skin. And then when it moves in the light, you can see that there's like a stardust print on the inside of the robe that shimmers and lights and moves. So it's got some kind of a glamorous construction to it. And she comes in and she goes,
Just climb on it, grab it.
it just, you just catch glimpses of it come on. I don't think it would be too distracting for you,
We got
although it
muffins.
is
We're
beautiful.
fine.
Yeah, you're chowing down on the muffins. And so she comes and she, oh, Marlo, I'm good to know that you got my message, and this must be the rest of the ticket takers.
This is Source, Dury, Abel, and Kaimana.
She nods at each of you and says,
I bow.
it's such a pleasure to meet each of you. I hope that you enjoy the muffins. They are, there's a stand that's been set up this week, not far from the Iron Mount in the kind of the festival area. A lovely woman from Northwick. She's been selling her muffins all this week, and these are special. She had another set called the Northwick Buns, but I got muffins this morning.
Hermione gets so excited he starts choking on them.
I like pick you up and like
Yeah.
time you.
Oh, very careful.
We're familiar with Minora.
Honora, yes, that was her name. Yes.
She's very good.
Oh,
We've been so hoping that she would be successful.
oh, she. Last I was there, her stall was just had a line going around the corner. We haven't seen anything like this since the souffle opened.
Mara's like fighting back
Yeah.
tears. Like, this is just incredible.
Hermione's happy.
Yes. Well,
We were going to paint an advertisement for her on the side of our ship.
I could arrange that for you. I've got some good painters in my employ. Sure.
I don't know
I'm
who
not
this lady
arguing.
is.
I'm not arguing.
Marlo, I suppose we have much to discuss that is not just a simple social encounter.
Yes. How did it all turn out with Volmy Riley?
Well, he was recalled from his position in Hightower, just in the sense that we wanted to make sure that there was a new face there to lead the recovery in the Boreal Quarter. He has kind of taken over a new position briefly here. He's our court mage for the next week or so, overseeing a few trials that are taking place within the Curia Regis. He did not seem to know anything. I think your initial read of him as an individual was accurate. But he was very upset by the events and how his own people had been used to sow such discord there.
I've been considering telling him some of what's been going on to see if he can more directly look into people at the Violet Cloister. Do you think that's wise, or it's better to keep it from him?
I know that Volmir struggles with the shadow of his father. If you could, it would be a touchy conversation for him, but it might be worth his knowing what is going on. He might have some insights that we both lack. I knew the man well, but clearly not well enough.
So there's a little bit we've learned since we last spoke. It's not huge. It's just a little bit of stuff. I slam out a piece of paper. I turned to the group. I took notes from the last one. I know it's cool, guys. But this one is a lot more coherent, and I really put a lot of work into it. Just pay attention to it. It's simple. It flows. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, great.
She's looking over the image.
We have confidence in you.
Do you mind
if
I?
Oh, absolutely. If you have any questions, let me know.
Puts she's casting over it, and then she kind of lifts up, and an image of the paper appears in the air, slightly larger and easier to read.
I regret putting the comment about Yusuf not getting any head in it.
She kind of she sees it and smiles a little bit.
I messaged Shamar and I'm like, this is certainly something from the last one.
Yes.
Oh wow.
I was about to say, I'm like, Dre's just looking at it like, holy shit.
That penis Wade?
No.
Oh, Rennis.
I just didn't know how to spell it, okay?
I think it is Renis. Isn't that how you spell
Jerry,
it?
that doesn't feel right at all.
I'm sorry, I spell everything phonetically. It's like a
No,
you spell it.
Your Venus is this part of your elbow.
That is true, Tamara. That is true.
All right, need another muffin.
As this conversation is going, she a teapot floats across the room, and she pours herself a cup, and then just sits down. And
I go get the.
I'm just gonna go through this because I think everyone already knows about this. I walk her through anything that I didn't tell her about last time that is new, and I will actually tell the group because there's several things they don't know. So you will see on here is it's kind of like more in the right, like bottom hand corner is like the new stuff for all of us. So you will see that Damien Corday over there. I actually have some paperwork from him of the mission statement from A Priori from the original.
I'm supposed to talk about that.
She's on the list of exceptions, Kaimana. Keep up.
She's on the list of exceptions, Kaimana. So that's there, and it's pretty it's a lot. The prismatic array is a conglomerate of dragons who have gotten together and basically written a document that says fuck humans, we're the children of the gods and we're going to take over, signed by Ahriman as well. Not signed by any of the dragons we've come across, however. But it feels important to know. Also, you'll note that it says the primals right there. The primals are coming back. The primals are coming back. So I think that's also important. I pull up the document that I have from Penelope Mistweaver, Lonaria's sister.
Yes.
Talking about how I'm gonna sum up the document real quick, or should I read it, Josh?
You could probably sum it up.
Okay, so the summary of it is that that what has been told to the continent is that in the beginning of times there were the gods and they created the world and everything was beautiful and peaceful, but what that's not true. Think Greek mythology, there were the primals, which were essentially the titans, and everything was like chaos and like hell, and then the gods came in and locked the primals away in the veil, and that's how the world was created. The primals are still there. It is believed that Caiaphas, the betrayer god, was trapped next to them in the Vale, which is why he went mad. Because he listened to them. It is also believed that there are signs that their cage is weakening, and they are coming back with things like Starfall is proof of that. Apparently, ley lines are going crazy. There's like big storms happening. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's
This
bad,
was my role in the Violet Conclave used to belong to my sister. But she became very worried about the primals and left to do this research that you're reading here, and has not returned for quite some time, as that research has taken her to places far and wide. She currently makes her home on the Free Cities, so that she can examine the ley lines and find other examples of primal activity.
I have a
Do you have
question,
the flying
and
castle, Bendis?
Does she have a flying castle?
No. I'm asking Marlo if
Oh.
if the flying
no,
castle.
I actually remember when we found that text from Armon where he was talking about how Alyria doesn't know the threats of the Vale.
Yes.
I think he knows the primals are coming back, and he's actually trying to stop that. Now, obviously, I'm not saying, oh, Armon, great guy. He's obviously awful, and obviously there is an element of greed and power here, but why he's joining all of these like different groups together, and he's getting all of this power and unity together in Alyria, I do think he's trying to prevent the primals from destroying the continent.
He's either trying to prevent them or trying to welcome them.
I don't know. He seemed really scared of them. And I think the reason he went mad is the same reason. He was too close to the primals.
If I knew Ahriman, as I feel that I did in our youth, his greatest fear was the Vale and outside threats that would destroy Alyria. He was a champion fighting to protect this land from threats that most of us would be shattered to even see. So unless he is dramatically changed, or this is somebody simply pretending to bear his appearance, that does seem accurate.
I have a question. If someone, maybe you don't know the answer to this, if someone was pulling magic from the primals in this plane, would that weaken their cage or strengthen them?
You're asking quite a question. The ley lines and the pulse of magic within this realm is very difficult. Mages have been studying it for hundreds of years. We know that much of it was laid by Medisansi, the god of magic. But where those ley lines cross and where they pull from is always a question. And the effects they have on the fabric of the realm is not always known. We know that magic can separate the veil between two planes, so perhaps that's possible. But I know, and she kind of motions in your direction, Mar, you bear some of that magic yourself.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I was asking if I am directly contributing to this, because I would feel really guilty if my cool lightning on my sword is actually powering up the primal that's the wolf of thunder and lightning, which feels, hey, I'm gonna say, when I read that, didn't really feel great to know that there's a wolf of thunder and lightning that's a primal, and I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. But yeah,
Yes.
that's why I was asking.
I do not think that you have much to worry about. There are much more powerful forces holding them back than your actions. I mean, the cage was created by the gods. Surely, if the cage is weakening, it's not because of anything you're doing, it's because the gods themselves sacrificed and are not here to maintain it.
Okay.
There is a flying
Is there-
castle in play.
Oh, I've heard reports of such a cloud city making its way across.
I assume that in my explanation, I would have
Yeah.
covered Feldspar, the
Okay.
dragon,
Yeah.
the castle.
Yeah.
Then
Like
never mind.
anything
Yeah.
since the last time I've seen her, I think I just would have just kind of
Yeah.
covered real quick.
She kind of looks for her. She says, "I know that Bolton Kuhn, one of the lower ranked risk breakers
We're familiar.
in Feldspar, it was part of his report to the Kira Regis yesterday."
Reported yesterday. We have. Yeah, we don't love Bolton Coon, but it's slightly personal. So
I don't love the risk breakers, so I understand that inclination.
Yeah. I mean, oh, sorry, too aggressive. I mean,
Historically, with the flying cities, did they have any kind of defenses that you know of?
Unfortunately, yes. It's difficult to know which one Ahriman has gotten his hands on, but I imagine that it would be the Profane Citadel, currently called that. It used to be known as Cirrus. It was the home to Thoradin, the leader of the Storm Giants, and it was his forward military base in the battles of the Subversion. It is probably the most heavily constructed and guarded of the Cloud Cities. Also the only one that we did not know exactly of its location until recently. So that would probably be the one most likely that Ahriman's got his hands on.
we've had that name before.
Yes.
I assume that is correct.
But
Yeah.
if it is, then he has a floating castle.
I was thinking more of air-to-air defenses in case we need to visit it.
They would have had. The Storm Giants were very keen on keeping flying visitors. I would imagine that there are some constructions there in place as long as he is able to activate them and control them. He may or may not have the key, as it were, to the defenses.
Okay, thank you.
But I know from the reports of the Noavian War on Sirius that there were several batteries destroyed, but there were a few that were able to wipe out entire legions of devils and demons in a single blast. So a more subtle approach to the Citadel may be appropriate.
Was there a way to track the cloud cities to know where they are?
Yes, all of the cloud cities are on a single network. If you managed to get onto one, there were teleportation nodes that connected all the others, and each city was aware of the presence of each of the other ones to keep that magical energy connection alive. Once the Cirrus fell, however, it was shattered from that connection, which is why we had lost sight of it, as it were. I know enough of it that I can scry on its location, but
I have a theory that taking it to Azalor.
it makes sense. Ahriman has been gathering together seeming sources of power. First, beings of magical essence and energy, kind of motions in Marlowe and Saurus's direction. And then Quicksilver. I would not be surprised if Azalor and the research of the would not interest him. That was a competing organization to the Violet Conclave, and they were much less bound by rules and regulations at the bottoms of the sea. It's also not far from Noavia, and I imagine that if Quicksilver cannot do the job, Zephrysite will.
We have some of that.
What types of quantities are you thinking?
Well, depends on what he wants to do. I'm afraid that there might be more bad news. I believe that Ahriman is collecting the stones of the subversion, which typically were used to empower ancient artifact weapons.
Oh, like this? I point at the wave dancer.
Yeah. Yes, like the one that you all.
Oh. Oh.
If he were able to unlock the essence of those stones, he could channel the very power of the gods through them.
Oh, that's really bad.
But I don't know what his plan would be to do. It's hard to know. If he sees himself as the only potential savior of Alyria, then he could potentially harness that power to strengthen the Terra Senor and keep the Veil further at bay.
What, you think reveal the threat and then swoop in pretending like he's the good guy?
He very well might. He could also use that power to transfer it to himself and become, in essence, a god.
Oh, both of those are so bad. So bad.
I've only seen one of the stones in presence. The original wielder of the Wave Dancer. I saw him battle, and it was quite powerful.
Is there a way to track the others?
Oh my god, he's totally using Whistleton to do that. Oh my god.
To collect the other stones.
Yes.
Because he has a lot of artifacts, right?
He was collecting the arms of the subversion, but
yeah,
the stones were not there. They were absent.
Yeah, they were absent after.
There was one stone. There was one in the sword when I first got it, and my very trusted ally took it to go undercover and hide it.
Very trusted ally from what?
Don't worry about it.
Huh. Well, these are things that I know passing little about. During the subversion, I was a warrior, and not a leader of people. Those decisions, those actions were things that were happening beyond myself.
That's so cool.
I appreciate it.
Anything else, Mar? Group?
Majority of what I wanted to cover. Everything else.
I just got here, so I'm fine.
Yes, I just, you mentioned Damien Corday.
Yeah.
He was not the man he portrays himself.
What he wrote in that was incredibly alarming.
I would go so far to say that Victor was radicalized by him, not the other way around.
That's the impression I got.
I hear his daughter is still making a name for herself out there.
She doesn't believe in those kinds of ideals, though.
I hope not. We have one organization to worry about without having another.
The true heart of it, you don't have to worry about.
Hopefully, between Volnir and Miss Corday, the sins of the father can be forgiven and corrected.
Sometimes we want to escape the things our family has done.
I have a question
Yes, please.
that's unrelated to this.
Absolutely.
How does one discover the true name of a devil?
Well,
If
That's a good question.
so if the devil is under the control of a human, the human would usually have it present, typically on an artifact of some kind, a ring or a necklace, something close by that could easily
So
be
it has to be
destroyed or
inscribed.
tossed. Yes, usually when the ritual of binding is placed, they would inscribe the true name on something. If the devil is acting of its own accord, sometimes you can make a bargain with them and carry out a task, and the reward with a trick could be the true name. Is there any particular devil that you're seeking the name of?
Well,
It's one who works for the. There's one that works for
Venice
directly
Wade.
under.
Uh,
No, directly
doesn't-
under
The queen.
Valaria Highwand, who's the queen, and A Priori
yes.
and the head of the Tidewaters.
Yes.
Rennis Wade was just the task he was
Yes.
assigned to.
Mhm.
Another way would be to kill the devil, and of course that does not kill them permanently as they return to their plane. And she kind of looks for a book on her shelf, and she kind of one pops out and flies over in her direction. Here, she rips out a page and hands it across to you, Abel. This spell, with the right components, upon the death blow, if this spell were to be cast, the true name of the devil would be revealed. It is quite expensive, though. I think the materials are ground unicorn horn and that's interesting. Garistro blood. Quite costly. But
Yeah.
gaining the true name of a devil gives you power over them, so of course the spell would be.
Worth the cost.
Speaking of things from hell, we have a problem. That's a demon in a bag of holding that we would love to go somewhere else.
You have a demon in a bag of holding.
Mm-hmm. You had me
Yeah.
right.
The one Abel has.
Sometimes you don't pick up bags of holdings in evil wizards' lairs, and that's a lesson you learn once.
Interesting.
So Artax very much likes to go out at night and feed on the gluttonous, and that is a very liberal use of that word.
Yes. Demon of greed does not decipher very clearly.
Yeah.
And you would like me to help with this?
Just if any advice or
Possibly,
anything
yeah.
you could do,
You
we're
or
just
like
not sure
someone
how to-
else can.
Yeah,
get it.
we just don't know how to get rid of him.
Is the demon already bound?
It is bound to a ring.
May I see it?
Yes. I'll open the bag and have
Oh boy.
Anansi
And Auntie can go get it.
crawl inside, and you see him skitter up with a little ring around one of his little arms.
Please have your... And she kind of waves a hand, and you see a circle appear on the floor. Please have him place that at the center.
Okay. He
And
places it
then
down.
she casts for a moment, and you see a sphere of force energy circle the ring and kind of take the shape around that circle. And she begins to study the ring. Let's see. Gets advantage on it. Where'd it go? This is a force cage. You are already bound to it.
Excuse me?
How did you make a bargain with this? It's not a demon, it's a shadow fiend. Did you make a bargain with
In some ways, yes. We wanted to sort of control the damage that it could possibly do while we were in a populated area. And he agreed to
Understandable.
forego eating for some time.
To break the bond, I will need some of your blood.
That is the only way to break the bond.
Come on, Abel.
Unfortunately.
Abel, give the blood.
No one else is offering blood, okay?
Well,
I offer blood to my sword every day.
Well, no
don't
one
really
else
care.
made a deal with the devil. I'm sorry
That's
to
normal
tell
for
you.
you. Judy, not today. Okay?
I'm going
Okay.
over to the drinks and start just drinking instead.
You
I
can
will-
have some of my blood, Abel.
Oh, thank you, Grandma. That is Very sweet of you, but
This is not a blood donor thing, okay? This is Abel.
don't think
Come
it'll work that way. I'll very tentatively hold my hand out and let her
She
draw the blood. And
A-
My paw on Abel's shoulder in support.
she she kind of riffs up, and this box appears in the air, and she opens it and reaches inside and pulls out a beautifully onyx hilted ivory dagger. And she kind of closes the box and it vanishes in the air. And she comes over to you and you feel a slice across your palm. You take 1 point of damage. And then
I can live it.
she collects this in kind of like a telekinetic orb, and she floats it over to the sphere. She drops the sphere, drops the blood onto it, and she casts a spell. And there's this sudden burst of energy as you feel something severed from you, Abel. Almost like a connection, like broken. And then she immediately lifts the ring up and she takes it over, and that box reappears and she drops it into the box, and then it vanishes.
Where will you hold him?
Well, currently he is in a demi-plane. Cannot interact with this one. This is a very powerful entity. It is currently bound by the ring, but if it were to be released, quite destructive. The only way to truly destroy it would be to cast it into the veil.
I knew it.
But it is contained for this purpose for now. It cannot escape from that.
Great.
Good thing we made him mad.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, he will not be pleased with you.
Oh, well. I appreciate you helping to alleviate me of that burden.
What was his true name again?
Artax.
Artax. And she pulls a book out and she begins to flip through. Yes, Artax. And she makes a note in the book. A general.
General?
Yes.
Wow. Shadow Fiend General.
But captured and bound by Victor Rylus, it seems, from the essence of the Force Cage. Which may or may not confirm that Victor and Ahriman are one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was dead.
He got better.
We're just finding out all things today.
This is disconcerting. I have a friend, perhaps, that would need some investigation. I captured Victor Rylus after a battle when we discovered that he had murdered Damien Corday. And I was gravely injured in that and was not able to carry out his sentence of death. That was carried out by a friend. Her name is Terrell Dimwala. She is one of the Archons here at the Violet Conclave and has always been somebody that I trusted. So when she was told to kill Victor Rylus on order of the king, we believed that she had.
Josh, what was her name again?
Terrell, Teril, Dimwala, Dimwalla. She's the Archon of Evocation.
So she was the only one that witnessed his demise?
It would have been me and her present, but I was in a coma at the time.
Sure. It's not your fault.
Why did Victor Rylus ever give a reason for why he killed Damien Corday?
At his trial, he implied that Damien Corday would not protect the realm, but tear it apart, and felt that he was a danger to the entire kingdom, as it were.
I worry that there was truth to what he said.
It's possible.
Cool. Well, that's all really fun and comforting information that
Yes.
we've all shared.
I apologize. I will look into Tara, but she will be present at the king's birthday celebration this weekend. She kind of waves, and these 5 tickets appear and float across the room. She says, "This is for the masquerade ball. The Adventurers Guild would be invited normally, but I think using this as an opportunity to gather more information would be useful." And she hands each of you a ticket.
Yeah, ticket.
Does it say what
No.
time it is on it, or is it just like a fancy little?
You should take them, Kaimana.
This would be a good time.
I believe arrivals are for 6. Dinner is usually around 7 for such a ball, and then the ball itself will go from 8 until well into the early morning, 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay, yeah, I can do like half that. Sorry, that's
Oh, yes,
That's
it
a night
is.
of the full moon?
It is
That's
the
a full
night,
moon?
Yes.
Wait, so you won't be there?
No, I can be there for like the first, but I'm just gonna have to dip out at some point unless you want me to fully wolf out. In a
No,
room.
it just means I'm gonna have to do most of the gathering after that.
Well, you can just come. No, don't come werewolf out with me in the woods. But
I'll just have to do what I do. It's fine.
you'll live. I promise.
You'll be great.
But you're the best at it,
Sure, you
Jordan.
Great.
will.
On your board of interest, Terrell is, and has always been, a brilliant warrior.
So don't piss her off, is what you're saying.
No, you do not become the Archon of Evocation unless you are quite destructive.
Yeah, we'll try not to get blown up.
Important safety tip here, folks.
Yes. Well, that gives you 4-5 days or so till the Masquerade Ball. Please, if there's anything that I can do for you while you're in Annaville, let me know. I will be tying up some loose ends. I do have another bout of bad news. The investigation for one Yorian Talderan is commencing this week, and as a representative of the Curia Regis, I must let you know that you will each be called in for questioning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Beginning today.
Beginning today.
Today?
Yes,
Cool,
with,
cool.
Saurus, I believe, is the first.
Mhm. Thank you.
So when we are finished here, I can make sure that Saurus arrives safely to the castle, and then
Wonderful.
the rest of you are free, of course, to go.
Would you mind giving us a moment to
Absolutely. Yes, and she...
just
I have-
debrief?
I have to go prepare for court, as it were, so she goes back up the stairs.
God, she's so cool.
Thank you, Lady
Fuck.
Miss Reba.
Of
Fuck.
course, absolutely.
Oh,
Amazing. Just her very presence is.
I know. I
breathtaking.
know.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus, I know.
Completely
Alright.
starstruck, honestly.
Storis,
Yes?
how you feeling?
Good.
I meant about like going to be interrogated. But I'm glad you're doing well in general. That's always good to hear.
All
As
right.
long as they don't try and put me in a cage, we'll be fine.
I
Alright.
cannot imagine they would. I think you would have to severely fuck up to be thrown in jail on this one. I think
If-
truly the only one that they're actually worried about maybe sentencing is jury, and jury has an advantage here on that.
If I can
we
just
just-
ask, if I can like give some advice, I can
Perfect.
like just. I want you to be honest, but if we could just focus on the part about Yorian stealing the ship, not the other part. You see what I'm saying?
No.
We want, ideally, it's weird to talk about here. I like get you closer so I can whisper. Ideally, Yorian goes down for theft of Quicksilver, not treason. Does that make sense? So the
No, but I understand what you're saying.
That seems extremely unlikely, but yeah, that's what we can aim for.
I don't know if this is the best place to discuss this.
I know, but Source is about to go. I'm trying to tell
Taurus
him
is
right
about to go.
Yes.
I think maybe so, stick to the truth of the thing.
That was the
you know,
plan.
Yeah.
And not to say
and
the
if
words
they
you told
ask
me not
you-
to say.
Let me play judge for a second. Why did you? I'm going to play. Ask you a question, and I just want to see what your response will be. Sorith,
Mhm.
why, when you were told by Yorian about his thoughts on the professional place, did you not inform the risk breakers immediately?
There wasn't an opportunity to do so without it being obvious that I was going away.
And we had no reason to trust Bolton Coon because Yorian was his right-hand man,
Oh,
and we
I
did not know if he was
love-
in on it. And
Oh
that's
my
100%
God.
true. None of us trusted Bolton Coon.
Oh, Mar,
None of us trust Bolton Coon now.
you're the best. You're so great to have in my life. I'm so happy
So
to have you
if
here.
anybody tries to get you on the fact that we didn't come forward immediately, blame it on Bolton Coon. And that's true. That's a truthful statement. So,
Absolutely.
perfect. Doris,
That
I
makes
believe in
sense.
you, and I think you're going to do great in that.
Mm.
There's no one else I'd rather go first, honestly.
Excellent. Jordan, I would like to meet you later to go get another tattoo.
Okay.
I think that will give us a chance to talk more.
Fun.
That seems fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I
Mind
figured
if
out
I
what
tag
I'm
along?
Hey,
too?
do you guys want to
Doris?
go to a fighting pit tonight? I'm gonna go to
A what?
a fighting pit tonight.
What,
I'm gonna
what-
go to a fighting pit tonight.
when did you find a fighting pit?
Sounds like
Someone
source
walked up and
system.
told me about a fighting pit.
I
Like they
would-
do.
I would like to do Mar, there is nothing in this fucking town I want to do more than watch you go to
I
a
have to
fighting pit.
1v1 this thorn in my side that won't fucking go away. So I have to kick their ass.
Like
but,
an ex-girlfriend?
Can Kamana take the thorn out?
No.
What? I'm just asking.
Because he's got little hands.
Metaphorosaurus, but I appreciate the thought.
Not
I'm
No,
sorry.
Sorry. Soros, you sweetheart. No, it's a those of you who went to the order. Yara, remember her?
Oh, the very unpleasant young lady.
The
Yes.
extremely unpleasant. Yeah, no, she rolled up to me in the casino last night and was like, "Oh, I'm the champion of the fights this week," and she wears this stupid little wolf mask, and she apparently ran away from the order because she just couldn't make the cut, and now she
Wow.
wants to 1v1 me because she thinks that she just hates me. I don't know why she hates me. I've never done fucking shit to her. So I have to go
Well,
kick
Mala,
her ass
I
and put
will-
her in a place.
Chase, do you
definitely
mention
do that.
the thing about the shadow tie that you saw on her?
Not right now.
No.
Not right now.
Wait, so you can just leave the order? And she's like, okay. do
Well,
that?
she didn't. I mean, look, I've been thinking about that part a lot. Okay, but
Mhm.
she never got full membership. Like she sucked. Like she really sucked. I don't know how one sucks at being a werewolf, but the last time I saw her, she sucked really bad. But now apparently she's a great fighter. So
Don't underestimate her.
How did- yeah.
I've never underestimated her. She fucking in fights when it was supposed to be just us with our swords, she would pull out magic or pull out her werewolf form on me all the time. I expect always the worst from her.
Excellent.
So, fighting pit later tonight
Yeah.
is the plan.
Okay, suppose
Do they take bets there?
Oh, they have to. Sorry, come on
Excellent.
now.
All right. As you guys are finishing up your conversation, Lenaria steps down, and she's wearing much more officious robes, befitting an Archon and an Archmage. She kind of looks to each of you and says, "Is there anywhere in the city that you would prefer to be dropped off? I can get you to certain locations much faster than walking."
Ooh, like the shopping district?
Like the zoo.
The zoo. The wardens. Yes, I could send you to the warden. The green space.
Yeah.
Certainly. And then the shopping district as well. Splitting up.
Maybe the wardens. I don't want Kaimana to go in there alone.
All right.
Why
We could
not?
all sit together and then go to the shopping district.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the wardens.
I would like to shop with you, so that would be
Yeah,
nice.
we'll go to the
Fine.
wardens, and then Source, hopefully, by the time you're done, we'll be in the shopping district and meet up.
I
Absolutely.
could use some fresh air.
And there, she kind of lifts her hand, and you see like the wall on the back kind of begin to move up, almost like you're watching an elevator space kind of move. And then two doors appear, and she kind of goes to one, and she spins a knob on the door, and you see an arcane sigil begin to light up and
That's
move.
awesome.
She says, "This one will take you to the green." And so she kind of releases, once I open the door, you'll have about 6 seconds to go through. So are you all ready?
Yeah,
Alright.
thank you so much.
Yes,
for-
thank
Absolutely.
It means
I
a lot.
look forward to talking to you. If I don't see you again, I will see you at the masquerade ball. Come well dressed. And she opens the green door, and Marlo, Abel, Jury, and Kaimana
Got to
kind
learn
of
how to do that one
go
day.
through. And then she closes that behind her, and she says, "And this door, Source, is for the two of us." And she kind of spins the knob, and she opens it, and then she walks through, and then you walk in after her. So, Source, you find yourself in, like, there's a moment, there's a pull and a tug at your, almost at your belly button, and you feel yourself kind of warp through space. And then when you stop, you look down, and you're on beautiful marble flooring that has a arcane sigil that is releasing kind of energy in a light white smoke that drifts around you for a moment. And then Lenaria is already walking ahead, and she says, "It would be best if we do not approach together. I believe that I have a friend coming to meet you to help guide you through the castle. But good luck, Source." And she heads out. And a moment later, there's a few guards posted, and they're just kind of watching you. But through the same door that Lenaria exited, you see the familiar visage of Alora stepping in.
Mhm.
Yes. And so she kind of says, "Source! Oh, Source, it's so good to see you." And she kind of runs up and she
Princess?
gives you a hug. And she says, "Is everyone all right? Is Abel, Marlo, Kaimana, how is everyone?"
They're
I
doing
ate the
well.
muffin.
Kaimana's not there.
We've
Oh, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you were.
We've
No,
we've
yeah.
added another member of the guild, Jordan, who is from Anavir. There's a story there, but it's not mine to tell.
Oh, well, I look forward to meeting
Abel is
them.
coming out of his shell. It's very interesting to watch.
Oh, well, I'm very angry with him that he did not let me know that you all were back in town. I expected that he would drop by immediately, but I understand.
We had to talk to Lenaria Miss Weaver first. No offense meant to you.
Oh, that's all right. She is worth the first beating. So, unfortunately, Source, I believe that you are heading to the chambers for the trial depositions.
Are there cages there?
No, I don't believe that you are
Okay,
under any
let's go.
danger. I think they're just doing an investigation at this point, and they want to take your statement. So she kind of guides you through, and she's kind of talking. This is your first time in the palace, and so she's like, "That wing over there is her wing, and where the royal family lives." And then she kind of keeps walking, and she says, "And that's the East Tower. It's one of my favorite rooms. It's currently under construction right now. The Nuavians are gifting the king an astrolabe telescope as part of their present for his birthday, and so the Eastern Tower is currently under construction with Nuavian architects and things there." And then she keeps guiding you through into the throne room, And then past that into a chamber where there are a few guards outside. She gets there, and coming out of the room, you see a tall man, kind of human, skinny, hair slicked back and dark. And he's having a conversation with, hold on, a broader, slightly shorter individual, muscular, wearing armor that covers the chest but has exposed arms with gauntlets.
Would he be a dwarf by any chance?
He's not. He's human. But he's shorter than the man with the slick back hair is just he's like 6'4" or so, and this guy's like 5'10". And they are having a conversation as they're walking out. Roll a perception check for me.
Perception. Nope. I do not want you to be a separate window. I want you. Perception +5. That's a 19.
19. So they're having a conversation, and you catch just kind of the tail end of it as Alora is walking you towards them, and you hear the taller individual says, "Blighthold must not fall to these incursions. We'll send an additional battalion of Legion soldiers your way post-haste. Do this work, and I assure you Thornton's seat is not long to be held." And they clasp arms, and then separate. And then the man in the dark silver and black armor walks away, and then the other individual kind of glances at your direction and looks you up and down, and then goes, "Princess," and he goes back into the room and closes the door. And Alora's,
What was the name of the place? Lightweave?
the Blighthold.
Blighthold.
Yeah, he said, "Blighthold must not fall to these incursions." I love putting on his voice.
I know this.
And it sounds like he's planning on replacing Thornton with
Brave,
whoever the shill is.
Yeah.
who is on the council, and maybe these guys are too.
Alora sees you kind of quizzically looking at him. That's Kratos Hawk. He's the second highest ranking member of the Radiant Legion. He currently works as the commander of the Blighthold Guard.
And the gentleman with the slick back hair.
That's Yusef Arafon. He's the
Just so you know, my notes on Yusef from having watched Marlowe's, Yusef, Regent, sketchy as fuck.
Yeah, he's the Crown Regent, and I suppose, in all intents and purposes, my guardian.
I wonder how far I could throw him.
He's very skinny.
Because I wouldn't trust him any further than that.
I don't blame you, especially from what Marlowe has said. I understand that. I don't like him very much, but I believe they'll be ready for you in just a moment. Somebody will come and grab you, Source. But it was great to see you. Tell Abel, just smack him for me, please. And then she...
I tell her that the Northwick buns are available, and that Lenaria had told us that she was there, and that she should definitely go get some.
Menora's in town. Yes, I will absolutely do that. Thank you so much, Source. It was a pleasure seeing you. And she kind of leaves. And in a moment after these two guards just staring blankly ahead, the door opens and another guard comes out and Saurus, the Saurus.
Yes.
They are ready for you now. All right. So he guides you into the chamber, Saurus, and you see a raised dais. There are 5 members of the Curie Regis sitting on the dais. But what you notice also is that the corners behind the dais are both shadowed. And you can see the light outline of a human or a person sitting in the shadows, but the shadows are very keenly kept and aware to prevent you from seeing who this individual is. and you look to your right and you see another one in a corner there. And they are just observing what's happening in the center. They guide you to the center of the room. There's a chair and a table that they sit you at. And you notice...
I have superior dark vision.
It is magical darkness.
Ah.
Yes. These individuals are meant to be kept hidden from you. And you see at the corner of the raised dais, there is a kind of a platform with a booth on it, and you see the familiar face of Dorian sitting at that booth, and he's just kind of staring ahead. He looks at you, but make an insight check for me, please.
Insight, that's a natural 2.
Okay.
Plus 5, so that's a total of 7.
Yeah, he looks at you and then just looks away. You don't read anything from his expression. At the center of the dais, the man with the slicked back hair takes center point. And then to his left, you see an individual, slightly larger individual with grayish hair. To Yusef's right, you see a dwarf in armor. To the dwarves left, you see Lenaria Mistweaver has taken her seat. And then to the right of the human with the gray hair, you see Darkhan Cerulean, the guildmaster. And so these are the Curia Regis members that are present. And so
no Onali.
Unali is not present, and the man with the gray hair, who's slightly kind of more rotund, is a half elf. And the only
Uriel Dane.
That's Uriel Dane. Yeah, he's the only half elf on the council, so you would recognize that. All right, and then so Yusef speaks up and he says, "Court recording for the deposition trial for Yorian Taldoran. Day 1, Soris de Dangeros here, a member of the Ticket Takers Guild, as the...
Adventurers Guild, the Ticket Takers Club is
Sorry.
the name of our group.
Make sure you correct that in the record. Thank you for the correction. We just have a few quick questions for you, Soris, about your involvement with the events of Feldspar and one Yorian Taldoran. Please answer as truthfully as possible, because as you will see, and he kind of looks up, and at that moment, you see like an iris open in this space above, and this light shines down and hits the center where you are, and you realize you're sitting at the center of an arcane sigil that begins to light up and flash. I need you to, if you choose to, make a wisdom saving throw, or you can let it happen.
If this is for Circle of Truth, then I'll let it happen.
Okay, so you let it happen. You feel this energy wash past you, and you may not tell a lie. Whatever that means.
Challenge
for Source.
accepted.
Yes. All right. So Yusef turns to the left, and the half elf speaks up first. Soris, can you detail for our investigation exactly when you discovered Yorian intended to steal the Quicksilver and attack the Pentavere?
I felt them.
Okay. And you did not report this to Riskbreaker Bolton Kuhn for what purpose?
One, there was not the opportunity to do so without leaving the group and making it obvious that that was happening. So in the effort to learn more, or at least not be put under suspicion, but the intent was to tell when the time was right. Because it was still a couple of weeks away, extra day gathering more information or waiting to have the opportunity to speak to Bolton would not make a difference.
Then the Thornton speaks up next. Hey, did Yorian mention any others that he was working with to carry out these attacks?
There were some men under him that were at the inn where we were staying, but I didn't catch their names.
Yusef looks at Thornton, and then Yusef speaks up. Most particularly, anybody who was funding Yorian's expedition?
No. Not that I remember.
The Archmage.
Because I really don't remember.
Yeah, that's fine. The Archmage speaks up at that moment. Very interesting, Xorius. You brought you brought 5 others, such as yourself, to Alyria. Can you explain the origins of yourself and your friends?
I was created in a lab by a mad scientist, using a mix of magic and science. Apparently, after I escaped, he created more of the kind. I was originally a rat.
She
A regular rat.
she looks across the room behind you. Do you kind of turn and follow her gaze?
No.
Okay. And she kind of nods for a moment, and then she looks back in your direction. And then Darkon speaks up at that moment. Aside from the threats of the Tidewater Syndicate and this scaled fold, can you describe any other forces or organizations arrayed against the Crown in Feldspar?
In Feldspar. Define against the Crown.
Forces working with the Tidewaters or the Scaled Fold?
Well, there was a dragon.
They all share a look.
You heard about the dragon attacking the town after the Scalefold, and
Of course, we've heard of the dragon. That was part of Bolton Kuhn's report of the events of what occurred. You put down the dragon, and the Crown is very thankful for that action. And I believe you're paid for your work.
yes, we haven't been paid for capturing the ship yet, though, and recovering the cargo of Quicksilver.
That is not the work of the Crown at this moment is to explore the events of Yori, and you may speak with Uriel will be happy to help you with that at a later time. Were there any other forces other than Dragon working with the Tidewaters and the Scaled Fold?
Not in Feldspar.
I guess the way how would Soros justify that answer?
I'm answering the question. He specifically said Feldspar, so I specifically answered Feldspar. I'm not implying that there is anywhere else.
The demons and the devils, would Soros interpret those as forces as helping the Tidewaters?
Well, it was something the Tidewater summoned.
Okay.
So therefore, it's the Tidewater is the origin of that.
Okay. Yep. As long as that answer is justified, that works. All right. And then Yusef kind of looks around. Thank you so much for your day. You may, of course, exit the chambers. They will show you how to get out of the palace safely. Thank you so much. We will be looking for Kaimana later this afternoon. We will come find you.
Best of luck with that. Where can I send Uriel after this?
Oh, he is going to be in session all day, but you may call on him later this week if you would like.
And so I shall.
He turns and looks at Uriel, and Uriel just kind of groans. All right, good. All right, cutting over to the green. So you all step out of the portal, and you find yourself not in this. I mean, you're in the center of Anarvir, but there is a wooded expanse around you, and it's not like a manicured wooded expanse. This is a forest that is well. The ground cover is mostly kind of taken care of to relieve forest fire dangers, but this is a naturally growing forest. And immediately, Kaimana, you see like hopping across the field, like a brace of antelope are kind of hopping through from tree to tree. Their horns kind of spiraling up on their heads as they gracefully bound away. But you are on the center of a path that leads deeper into the forest. So do you all follow and head deeper in, or do you want to explore the forest around you?
What are we looking for, Kaimana?
Just look it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go further in.
All
We're
right.
gonna explore the forest first and then go.
And
Okay.
Josh, did you say that we can kind of look around, but someone might be like, "Why are you here?" Or we're allowed to walk around here?
So you know enough about the Warden's estate that, like, for the most part, it's a public park. But there are zones of the Warden's estate that are blocked off or walled off where the official warden actions and activities take place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you explore. So Kamada, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Because you want to see animals.
13.
13. So as you're walking through the forested space, there are, manner of animals that you're familiar with. You see some
Would that be nature or survival?
nature or survival, if you want to follow their tracks.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, that's better. That's a 17.
Yeah, so you see some, some familiar animals to you, just basic deer and bears and various different things. And it's interesting because like there's no sense of like predator prey type scenarios. These animals are just seem to be well taken care of enough that they are wandering around openly and freely. There is a moment while you're walking deeper into the forest where you hear like a rustling sound in the bush next to you, and like you turn around and look, and there's just like a rustling of leaves, and then this face like pops up, and then it pops back down, and then it pops back up from another side of the bush, and then it jumps out and starts weaving between your legs, and it's this slinky long ferret. And it eventually stops in front of you and like teeters up on its hind legs and like
Can I make an animal handling check?
Yeah, go ahead.
To try to like make it my friend.
Sure.
The 17 again.
17. So you kind of like hold out your hand and it like sniffs it for a moment and then kind of rears back a moment, but then it like jumps behind you and climbs up onto your pack and starts like pawing at your pack a little bit.
All right, I'm interested to see where this is going. I take my pack off.
Okay. You take your pack off and set it down, and it clings to it, and you set it down, and it finds the flap, and it dives into the flap, and you starts rummaging around in your thing. And when you lift up the flap, and it pops up, and it has like a biscuit or a piece of hardtack that you took from the ship between its mouth, and it just looks at you, and it like jumps off, and it starts like eating the hardtack a little bit. But it's a ferret, which is probably not a creature that Kaimana has seen a lot of.
No, it's him, but small.
Yeah.
So he's like really intrigued by it. So yeah, he's gonna play around with it for a little bit.
Okay. So it eats, and then like, what do you do to kind of play around with it?
Like try to find different things in the pack that it's interested in. Like, I mean, he's got all that junk on his staff too.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah. The moment you kind of lift the staff up, these like little baubles catch its sight, and it starts like jumping up and like pawing at a few of the little like beads and baubles. And then when it realizes like you're holding it, it crawls back up onto you, and then crawls down your arm to the staff, and is like trying to crawl along the staff to get to the baubles. It falls off, like slips off the staff for a moment, and then kind of lands in the dirt.
If it falls off, I'm gonna try to catch it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a athletics or acrobatics check to try to catch it.
19.
19, yeah. So you catch it in your hand, and it like starts wheeling around in your palm a little bit, and it kind of looks up at you, and then goes back to trying to grab one of the baubles off of your staff.
I made a friend. I am going to use my Staff of the Woodlands.
Okay.
And I don't know where anything is now that D&D Beyond has been like shuffled around. Okay.
Yeah.
And I am going to cast Speak with Animal.
Okay.
I think I have that. Hang on.
Yeah, it's in the Staff of the Woodlands. So as you're
there it is. Okay.
You're casting, and it's going. And then the moment the spell hits, it's like, give me shiny things. I like shiny things very much. Please let me hold them. Please let me hold them in my hands. Please, 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 please let me hold this thing because I'm going to lose shiny in my hands, please.
I love this creature. I'll find like a marble, like something off of my staff, and I'm going to give it.
Okay, so you hand it to him. It says, "Oh my gosh, it's so bright. Thank you, thank you, thank you." It's like nuzzling it, and then it like trying to like holds it in its palm. And then it's like trying to like climb around while it's still holding it in its little palm. It's so shiny. It's so shiny. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have any other shiny things? Any other shiny things that are nice, really pretty? You can put them in my hand. I just want these little shiny things in my hand, please.
You can have one.
Oh.
Okay, two.
And then the moment you grab it,
I'll like a shell. Like
okay. The moment you give it a second one, it turns to the bush, and it's making everyone else standing around watching Kaimana play with this creature. You just hear like chittering sounds. But what Kaimana you hear is, "We've got one. He's got stuff. Come get him!" And there are like 3 other little like ferret creatures pop out of the woods and swarm around you, Kaimana, and are all like trying to swarm into your pack to get food, and they're trying to find more shiny bauble things. And you just hear this chorus of sounds of like, "Where's the food? Where's the food? Oh my gosh, there's more shinies. Give us some shiny things. We like things. We got a friend. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go."
I am going to start to try and train and befriend them.
Okay. All right. So this will take a few rolls. Is there a particular one? There's like just a brown one. There's one that's kind of black and white spotted. There is a white one with a bright pink nose. And then there is just an all black one.
Kaimana will be naming them himself, but like I'll come up with those like later.
Okay.
But yeah, like I just want to train them to like just stick around me, and like the first thing I'll teach them to do is how to hide in my pack. Yeah, that's the first thing
Okay.
I'll teach them.
So you're gonna work on all of them. Okay, go ahead and because you have speak with animals up. Go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage.
All right.
And I'll make an intelligence check.
Well, just staring at you doing.
27.
27. Okay, and they rolled a 14 on their intelligence. So for using some little snacks as kind of treats or whatever, you slowly guide them. And when you teach them like hide, and they all clamber up and dive into your pack, and you just see like little heads sticking out of the top of your pack and like staring at you.
Oh.
All
Are
right.
you keeping them?
Can I?
Kaimana, they live here. You can't take them with you.
Well, can you ask them if they want to leave their home?
Do you want to stay here, or do you want to come with me?
They kind of all look at each other for a moment, and you hear like, "Hi, it's really nice here. It's really nice." And then like there's like a little comment like, the wardens, they take care of us. They feed us every day. And then but then there's one at the very end who's like, "I don't know. It might be fun."
I'll say, well, anybody who wants to stay will stay. And I will give you all a treat.
So 3 of them climb out of your pack,
Okay.
and they kind of line up for a treat. But then, which color one was your favorite one?
I will let the DM decide that.
Okay, let me roll. Okay. So the white one with the pink nose, it does not climb out of your pack. It stays in your pack.
Okay. Do you have a name? Is there something you like to be called?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they call me like Slinky, or like sometimes like they call me Smelly sometimes, but that's only when I have a bad day. But sometimes they call me Friendly. I don't know. I'm really I like people.
How would you like it if I called you Little Saurus?
Little Saurus. Yeah, Little Saurus. That works for me.
Okay. Would you like to come? Are you sure you want to come with me, Little Saurus, or do you want to stay?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, is it okay if I come with you a little while and then sometimes you bring me back and then I can visit my family again?
We might be gone forever.
We can bring him. Oh, I don't know what he's saying.
You just hear come out of like chittering back.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Okay. He kind of looks and he's like, well, I mean, I like to go on an adventure.
Well, it'll definitely be that.
Okay.
All right, Little Saurus, you're gonna come with me.
All right. So you got.
And I'm
Little
gonna
Saurus.
make I'm empty everything out of one of the packs on my sack, or
Okay.
one of the pockets on my sack. And I'm like, this is gonna be all yours,
Oh, good.
and you can put any of your shinies in it and any of your food in it. You can live there, and if you get bigger, we can move you to a bigger pocket.
Oh, I think I'm gonna be about this size for the rest of my life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll find out. Things can happen.
So this whole conversation happened, and like the other three are just kind of watching, and they're nibbling on the treats you gave them. You look around, and there's like chipmunks watching this. There's like squirrels. There's a flying squirrel that just like leaps off a branch and flies over another branch to get a closer look. And so like you've gathered, because you're communicating with them in their own speech, you've gathered like this like Disney princess level of animals around you. But they're all there. And at this point, Marlo, you sense it before everyone else with your perception. You hear somebody walking through the woods.
I turn to look who it is.
You see an individual with a hood up, brownish cloak, a bow strapped across his back, kind of walking up.
Ugh,
and
a
walking in your direction.
warden.
Yeah, it's a warden.
Ugh, gross.
Um,
I wait for them to approach.
Can I help all of you?
Sorry, friend is having a conversation with the wildlife.
He kind of looks around. Oh, a druid then, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, be careful. There's some larger creatures around. Is there anything in particular you're looking for on warden grounds?
What kind of larger creatures?
Well, there's bears of all different varieties. Most recently, a panda bear. There are various different elks and elixes and ibexes and various different things. A couple crocodiles.
What's a
Wide
panda
variety.
bear?
What's a panda bear? Well, I suppose I could show you.
Yes, I would like that very much.
Oh, all right. Is he coming with you? And he kind of notices for the first time the white head of the ferret hanging out of your bag.
Well, he said he wanted to. I asked him if he wanted to stay.
Of course, druids. And so he like begins to walk through the woods a little bit, and there's a cavalcade of creatures that are just bounding after Kaimana. And he's walking with you all direction. Marlo, Abelger, anything particular that you all would like to do or explore while you're here?
Just keep my distance from the warden.
Okay.
Mar is, as someone who's kind of tangentially like warden adjacent,
Yeah.
Mar doesn't fuck with the wardens.
No, yeah. All right.
Jordan's Jordan's just like really quiet and like writing in a notebook.
Okay.
Like they're trying to.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna like read and walk.
All right, so Abel's using this time to do some reading. So Kaimana, with the sense of like there are vast number of creatures in the warden's grounds that you could potentially be that this person could eventually potentially show you to. They show you to the panda in, place where you just see a field of bamboo, which you recognize bamboo. There's some that grows in the Vanishing Isles, but there's just this large, lazy-ish looking bear with brownish black fur, except around its eyes, and then on its paws, it has white paws as well, and then its chest. And it's just munching away, peeling off the outer layer of this bamboo and then eating the rest. So he shows you a panda bear. Are there any other animals or creatures that Kaimana specifically would like to see for the hope of gaining?
I think he's seen everything you mentioned, so I don't.
Yeah,
think
he's
there
seen
would-
all of those.
Okay, yeah.
Is there anything that's like at you as an Atwood as a player?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's. I think he just really wanted to see something he hadn't seen.
Okay, cool.
Checking
and-
that box.
Yes, and so if there's any of the particular ones like ibixes or things like that you're like, I would want to transform into those and they're not in stat block form, let me know and I'll build a
Okay.
stat block for them so that you can panda out if you want to, or
Yeah, let me
or whatever.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely let me build me one for the panda.
Yeah, and when you all eventually go to the circus, if you decide to go there, there's some more exotic creatures there. All right. As the day progresses, you all kind of once Kaimana has gotten his fill of seeing the creatures and the animals in the warden zone, you all want to head towards the shopping district.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the purposes of this Saurus, we imagine that they showed you to the trolley space outside the castle, and then they kind of explain to you. I summoned the trolley. There you go. They show you the trolley space, so that, and then they told you what stop. You told them, I want to go to the shopping district. They told you what stop to get at. So you all.
And
meet
I'm
back
sure
up at the shopping
Jordan
district.
gave us a particular landmark, like, okay, there's a big statue in the middle, meet there. Or
Yep.
something.
All right. So with that in mind, with all of you kind of meeting back up in the Prisma Quarter, let's go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. So if there's anything that's like, I want to quick purchase something, this is an opportunity to do that. If there's something that's like, I want to have an RP moment with like in a shop space, there's going to be some of that as well. But we'll take quickly 5, and then we'll do shopping.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank
Yay.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Yep.
5.
So as we enter back into the Prisma Quarter, through a little bit of exploration, you discover that there are like 5 major shops within the Prisma Quarter. There is a place called oh god, that's not the right one. There's one called the Galleon.
very strange name.
the Galleon Market, which you pass by at the center of the Prisma Quarter, and it is literally a ship that is built up on a platform, and it's like this triple-masted ship with these beautiful sails fluttering in the winds.
What's it called?
The Galleon Market. There is Cardin's Curio, which is a place run by a former instructor of the Violet Cloister who left to open an enchanting shop. And there is Potent Potions and Poultices, which is a potion and herb shop, and you can also get spell components and things there. And then there is the Gilded Weave, which is a clothing store and tailor shop. And then the one that you received a flyer for, and the grand opening is this week, is Be Your Own Manager, which is a holistic magic shop.
What's the name of it again?
Be Your Own Manager.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar, Rob?
Yes, and I can't place it.
No,
Wow.
Rob, do
no
you remember a
spoilers,
little
no
one shot
spoilers.
that you ran and a character
No,
I
Jace, no
played?
spoilers.
That's obvious!
All right.
Oh my god!
Rob!
Oh my god.
So
I
it,
wanted to see his mental breakdown live.
so
Oh, that's beautiful.
just as a
She made it.
frame of what you could
Wisdom
purchase.
gap.
If you're
Okay.
looking for just a general goods, then the Galleon's Market would have all of your general goods. Magic items, Cardin's Curio, potions and things, potent potions, and then Be Your Own Manager is its own special blend of stuff. So anything in particular that you're looking for that you'd like to purchase today?
I think I want to say as we roll up, I think I'll tell the crew, well, I would love to enjoy a day of shopping with you. I think I will head to the Violet Cloister. I was given an invitation to join the academy, but I never showed up. Maybe I'll go and spend the afternoon just to peruse the libraries.
Is there anything you need? We could pick it up for you.
Nothing I can think of in particular, but we will be here for some time. If I do need to come back, I will.
Okay.
Don't get lost.
I guess we'll just see you back at the end tonight.
Precisely. I will see you all later, and I'll head off with Anansi.
All right. So Abel makes his way off north of the Prisma Quarter back towards the Violet Cloister, and everyone's there. Anything in particular for the rest of the group, shopping wise, that you would like to purchase
Yeah.
or that you're looking for? So let's just kind of go around. Soros, I know you had a couple things that you were looking for.
I'm looking for someone that sells snow globes of different towns throughout Anarvir.
Okay.
I am looking for someone who makes jewelry, and I am keeping an eye out for something that I might think that Abel might like.
Okay. Your best bet for all of those items is probably going to be Galleon's Market. So you make your way to Galleon's Market and you walk in to the establishment, and it is, I mean, it's the interior of the ship has been completely opened, and there's actually no deck to the ship. So the masts just come down straight to the floor and act as just like posts that go up into the area. And there's just a light tinting of fabric that provides a roof for the establishment. And the ship is just lined forward all the way to the back with just lines and lines and lines of random goods. And it's all the random things that you would normally see in a shop, but there are some random various different things. And you see a tall Kaimana would probably be the only one who's actually ever encountered one of these individuals before. A turtle.
Yay!
And he's walking back and forth, and he introduces himself when you guys come in as Broly. And he's the owner of the establishment. And when you ask for those things, he kind of said, "Well, I think we got some snow globes back in the back here." He kind of slowly walks, and come on and make a perception check while Source is being walked back to the back where the gift area is.
13.
13. Kaimana, there's a flurry of activity that you catch out of the corner of your eye, kind of off to the side of the ship. Just a shimmer of fur, and maybe like a cloak or a sash that's the exact same color as the one that you wear, kind of disappears off to the side. And then Broly kind of guides you back. And Source, you find there's a wall of like gift shop style items. And there are a few snow globes. There's one that has like the Temple of the Eight inside of it. And then there's one that's like Palace Hill.
I am looking for one for Enavir, one for Feldspar, one for Hightower, and one for what was the town where we docked the ship? That's the area.
Oh, Eldritch Peak. Okay.
Eldritch Peak.
Okay. Yeah. So the major towns are all represented. So the Hightower one, there's like a magical little like stream that runs around the islands, and it's just like a miniature little of the islands, and the snow inside is more like glitter, so it's almost like falling stardust on the town. There is the Eldritch Peak one is this mountain range, and it has like the light ember fires of the forges on the side of the mountains, like kind of glowing under the thing, and the glitter on the inside is silver in color. And then Anarvir's is the Temple of the Eight at the center, and then kind of a smaller version of the rest of the town surrounding it, and it has typical white kind of snow globe look, and then but those are only 3 because those are the major cities. Feldspar's too small to probably be represented in a gift shop, but you do find 3.
Okay, I buy them.
Okay, they are a silver each. It's 3 silver.
Okay, and then I give them to Kaimana.
And there are some necklaces and rings and things like that in this area too. You're looking for one in particular that is like a 2-part necklace?
Yes, and I realize I may need to commission that.
Okay. So there are a couple like basic like lockets that are like friendship lockets or whatever, but none in the shape that you're really looking for. So you kind of ask Broly, and Broly says, "Oh, well, I think there's a Xenox Thorn at the Gilded Weave. He makes clothes, but I think he also sometimes does jewelry. So if you're looking for anything commission-wise, he might be able to help you out there."
All right, thank you.
All right.
So that's, and like I said, unless something caught my eye for Abel, then that's my wish list.
Yeah, this is, I mean, as far as a general store, there's nothing like magical or artificer here. But it's there. Come on, did you explore or?
I would go after whatever I saw, yeah.
Okay. You kind of go around a corner of a booth, and you see standing there kind of shelving items taller than you, slightly brownish but gray a little in the fur. A female Lutrinian is there kind of putting things up on the shelves.
Oh, aloha.
She pauses and turns around. "Aloha, little one. How are you?"
Do I recognize her?
Make a intelligence check.
Oh, I was like, what skill is that? It's like, no, it's not.
Just just a straight intelligence check.
That is a 5.
A 5. I mean, in the same way of like, there are so many people who come from your community. Let's see if she recognizes you. She kind of, is that Kaimana?
Yes, that's my name.
Kaimana, you were so small when I left the community.
Who are
It's a
you?
cult. It's a cult.
So she said she introduces herself. She says, "I'm Nailani," and when she mentions the name, Nailani is like legendary within your community, and probably somewhat of a little inspiration for Kaimana, because when she, shortly after her coming of age ceremony, this ship, captained by a turtle sailor, docked on the Vanishing Isles where you live and was trading with your community, and Nalani just like stole aboard the vessel and sailed off with him. And you realize that like you were young, but like, oh, that was Broly, and then Nalani went with him. And she would return every now and then to trade with the community, but she never came back home. She just went on explorations with Broly, and now they've got a shop here in Anarvir.
All right, so Kaimana is like coming to pieces now. Like he runs forward and hugs.
She
And-
hugs, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just like a fountain, like talking about all that he's done in
Oh.
like the last like couple of years.
Oh, and she kind of listens to you for a moment, and at the end she's just like, I never thought ever that Kaimana would be the one to explore the world. You don't seem like the type to, get out there.
It's kind of a surprise to me too.
Well, but you've made friends while you're doing it, and that always helpful.
Yeah, we made a club. We had the Ticket Takers Club.
And they're taking good care of you.
I'm taking care of them. I'm the leader.
To roll to see if she believes him.
So she kind of just she nods and is able to maintain composure of her face, and then she just says, "Well, that's of course you are, you big boy." What? So
Do you want to meet them?
yes, anybody who make Kaimana their leader, I would like to meet them.
All right, I'm gonna find Soros.
All right, so you're introduced, and walking next
And
to
I'm giving the snow globes to Kaimana. It's like they're shiny and they represent places you've been.
Yay!
Yep. And Kaimana kind of goes off to like shake the snow globes or whatever, and Nalani like grabs you, Soros, and just says, "Is he doing okay? Is he all right?
No.
Yes,
Is he eating?
he's our leader.
Are you joking?"
No, Kaimana is the heart of the party. We have other people that help with decisions. We each take times to step forward, but Kaimana is the one that named us, that organized us to begin with, and he is the one that speaks most eloquently when the time is necessary.
And she kind of maybe everybody has room for growth.
I can't wait to see what he's like when he grows up all the way.
Yes, well, he has grown a lot since the last time I saw him, so maybe he grow more. Maybe
He's quite an interesting fellow.
he always has been.
At some point, Kaimana would drop the fact that Soros is 2 years old.
Oh, this all makes sense now. Thank you. All right. All right. Anything else you all want to do in Broly's shop?
Just visit with
Yeah.
my relative.
Yeah, you get, and Nalani is like a distant, like second cousin, twice removed of Kaimana. Yeah, as everyone is.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I am looking for a violin, so I don't know if that would be here or in a different
All
place.
right. Do they have to be magical?
No, it's for
Yeah.
performance. So.
Okay, yeah, then they are absolutely, there's a wall of musical instruments you can absolutely grab. And Broly, hold on, let me just look up the price.
I think it's called a viol.
It is a viol.
A viol.
Yeah. Okay. There's a range of nice like very nice ones, well constructed, to like more like simple starter ones. Which kind of level are you looking for?
I want a decently nice one if I can afford it.
Okay. So there's a one that's 50 gold, and it's kind of like ebony wood that's polished and very clean, and the strings are very tight, and the neck of the violin is like a more of a deeper mahogany brown.
Yeah, is there one nicer than that?
Yeah, there's one that's 75 gold, and it has like an inlaid design in to look almost like branches growing along the case or the base of the violin, and so it's like a reddish cherry wood, but then the branches are done in like an oak, so it's got this yellowish, beautiful design on it.
Yep, give me that one.
Okay, 75 gold.
Thank you. I took it out.
All right. Anybody else need to purchase anything in a minor shop like this? All right.
At some point, Kyle is going to mention that he wants to go get a tattoo. But that's going to wait.
Yeah,
he's going to ask if someone can help him pay for it.
Swords would have told you also have to go to the thing tonight to get questioned, right?
Yeah.
Soros would have mentioned that. Yeah.
So you might not have time.
But mention to Kamana that we will take him. Jordan and I also need to get another tattoo. So you can either come with us, or if we go while you're getting interrogated, I'll take you another time.
Right. So finishing up your basic level shopping, anything else that you guys need in the shopping district? I know Marlo was looking for a few things. So Marlo, roll 2 checks for me, please. Roll an investigation check and then roll a persuasion.
Investigation. 14.
Okay.
Persuasion. Oh, 18?
Nice.
I'm sorry, new tattoo.
Let's go. You're looking so fun.
All right. So you go to Cardin's Curio, and there is the Cardin is just an elven male, blonde hair, tan skin, and he's working and tinkering. And it takes a little bit of conversation with him for him to reveal that he has the items that you're looking for.
All right.
Yeah. But you are able to kind of, because they are items that could be used for subterfuge, and
that is what I am using them for. Correct.
But he does present to you a scabbard that's very basic, but when you put the sword in it, it actually changes the hilt and shape of the appearance of the.
Is there anything, and maybe this guy can't do it, or maybe this just isn't possible? Is there anything I could put on the sword so that I could use the sword? But
so when you pull the sword out, the sword looks just like a normal short sword.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, he says, and he tells you like, well, it won't take under close scrutiny, but if anybody's looking at you from a distance, you should be okay.
That's fine. Thank you.
And that's 500. And then the ring that you reveal, he says it requires attunement. It is a ring of masked whisper or hushed whispers, and it will prevent people from overhearing your conversations. Again, somebody who really wants to overhear you could potentially know that something's amiss.
Fine.
And that's also 5.
Cool.
Ooh, oh,
And I'll talk to him about doing the custom jewelry.
Oh, I do have a few items that could be mundane jewelry, you say.
I mean, if you want to jazz it up with something, but I'm more limited in funds, and I described to you what.
Yeah, he takes 2 necklaces. These are necklaces that he sells with the intention of having an enchant put on them. So you can like choose a necklace and then get an enchant. But he just pulls 2 and he takes it to the back, and you see him casting a spell over them, and changing their shape a little bit. And then he brings them back wrapped and passes them over to you. All we had was platinum, so they're slightly more expensive. But
That is platinum is what I wished. So that is perfect.
then each would be 20 gold each, so it's
Okay.
40 gold for the pair.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pay the man.
Awesome. Anything else in the magic shop that you all need?
I ask about, like I said, I'm trying to find something, Rob metagaming, that will raise my wisdom by 1. That is not a magic item that requires it to.
Let's see what Carmen knows. Yes. But I did hear of a book that they kept in the library at Violet Cloister. That once every 100 years somebody could read the book and get access to the wisdom bones, make them more knowledgeable of the world. It's kept under lock and key though.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody else need to purchase or buy anything? Sean? All right. Marlo?
No, not right now.
Okay.
No.
At that moment, you hear kind of a popping sound behind you, and Lenaria and Mistweaver, you are a difficult bunch to track down. It is time for Kaimana's questioning. Where should I bring him when he is finished?
To the
I
end.
drop her the end, the
Man's
Mary.
bargain. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Lenaria takes you, Kaimana, and you teleport to the space of the. You go through the exact same kind of scenario as Saurus. Alora walks you to the space, and is very excited to see you and gives you a warm embrace and a hug. But you arrive, and the same 5 seated figures are sitting there that I told you Saurus was sitting there. But with Kaimana's passive perception, you do notice that there's somebody standing at the back of the room that was like off to the corner and the side. And you see Volmir Rylance is also watching the proceedings that are taking place here. Make an insight check for me, Kaimana.
23.
When Yorian looks at you, you get the intense feeling that he does not recognize you.
What the fuck does that mean, Josh?
Scary.
All right. So then Yusef speaks up. Oh, Kaimana, not a resident of Alyria proper. He comes from the Vanishing Isles. So Kaimana, just a few quick questions for you today, and please make sure the circle of truth drops. Do you want to try to roll to get out of it, or are you going to accept it?
I'll accept.
Okay. Just a few quick questions today. I don't want to go too late into the evening. Can you describe, Kaimana, the relationship between Juridin Windsor and one Yorian Talduran?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm really confused by it. Like, I thought that, like, they were friends, but then, like, they weren't friends and they were mad at each other. I don't know what's going on here.
So you would describe their relationship as close, but troubled, perhaps?
Complicated?
Complicated. Interesting. Was Juridin, were they helping Yorian with their efforts?
Alright, so out of character real quick.
Yeah.
Kaimana's gonna say no. He's saying no because he does not think that Juridin was doing a good job helping. Like, as in, like, no, he wasn't helping. Like, I would not call what that is helping.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yep. All right. And he kind of exchanges a look, and then Thoradin next to him speaks up. He says, "Hey, can you describe the organization that Yorian was working for?"
It was like a disease. I think it was like a pox.
Oh, gosh.
A pox. The organization is a pox.
Yeah.
Yusef, do you mean Vox?
No, he said pox vopuli.
Let the court record show that this is a reference to Vox Populi.
Objection, leading.
I don't think so, because I said pox vopuli and no one corrected me.
Yorian, is he stating this correctly? And at this point, for the first time you hear Yorian speak up, I believe that was a joke, Yusef. I think that Vox Populi was the name correctly given. Kaimana, of course, jokingly understanding it as Vox Populi.
Was I speaking it wrong this whole time and no one told me?
It seems as such, yeah. Yusef says, just one final question for you. In your realm of the Vanishing Isles, have you ever had direct connection with the Tidewater City?
And I don't think so, but like...
From Kaimana's perspective, it would just be like those mean people who occasionally come by and want like attacks or whatever, but not like...
But it wouldn't be
not a
like
direct
one
connection.
group.
No, like not
Yeah,
a direct connection, yeah. So you could say no to that.
No.
Can you give a sense of exactly what they were looking for in Feldspar?
They were looking for shinies.
Any particular shine?
Like, I don't remember. Shiny was shiny.
Did the Adventurers Guild discover any shines in Feldspar?
There,
Is
I
Tide
can't
Bond
bet a game.
is Tide Bond on the
You
list?
see why this man is a priori? Do you see why this man?
Well, we found lots of shinies. We found all of that gold piled up, and the sword, and
With my bare
just start
hands.
listing every
This has
single
nothing to
thing
do
we
with
found.
anything.
I'm just trying to. Yeah, no. So he'll get like very specific. And again, I don't think this is Kaimana deceiving. This is just Kaimana being Kaimana.
Yeah.
He's gonna get very specific with like really weird shit. Like there was this button that was really really glossy, and like basically everything he found that was like real treasure, like gems and pearls and shit like that, but also like garbage.
Yeah. And this goes on for a little while, and then Yusef finally just says, okay, that's enough. Thank you so much for your time, Kaimana. They will make sure that you get back safely to your location. Tomorrow, let Jury and Abel know that they will be up for questioning. Why is Marlo laughs?
I like that.
All right. So you all head back to the Naiad after your day of shopping. You head back to the Naiad's bargain.
Okay. So Kaimana's out of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. At any point since we acquired it, have we decided that the Tide Bond shouldn't be on Kaimana's staff?
Mar would have sat everyone down and just insisted.
I thought at
That
one
it be
point you
anywhere
put it in
else.
I thought at one point you put the Tide Bonds in the bag of holding.
Yeah,
We
I
did.
thought we did that.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
you did that
I thought it
on
was-
the ship before you guys disembarked.
Yeah, that's
to
right.
Anavir.
That's
Yeah.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
we
Because
did.
we
Yeah,
thought
we
it
did.
because we put it in the extra one we had.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we're like magically it's safe to do that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Taimata would be the dumbass who would walk before these people with 2
No.
tie
We decided in Feldspar after all the shit that went down that was a bad idea.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that was one of the things you guys chose to do on the ship before you disembarked.
Yeah.
All right, so you all make your way back to Nade's bargain. Abel, at the you spend a few hours at the monastery or at the library. This massive, like 10-story library with just shelves and shelves and shelves of books of all kinds. You spend a few hours there reading, so you get up to about 20 hours. Is there anything else you'd like to explore in the library before you head back to meet your friends at the Nade's bargain?
Abel, ever since he was a small child, has been fascinated with the dragon that sleeps at the Violet Cloister. So almost like a giddy little, kid going to like the space, museum for the first time. I'm gonna like very quietly make my way towards the sleeping dragon.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
See if
so
I can get a
you
glimpse of her.
so you leave the main chamber, the circular chamber of the library, with its countless desks and stairs that go to the second or third floor from the first, and that are constantly shifting and moving. And you kind of make your way back through a small portico, down a walkway that leads to the old library, which was the library that was built when the Violet Cloister first was established. There's a few guards out there, but you show them your sigil and they let you pass through. And you find yourself in the musky smell of old books. And the first thing that you recognize is the sound of breathing. As you walk around a corner, and there before you is the largest living creature that you've ever personally seen. A full-size, ancient Empyrean dragon, violet in color with shimmering scales that in the twinkling light of this room kind of transition and change from a dark violet to a light violet back. Closed lids of 5 eyes, 2 on either side and 1 at the center of her forehead. Long curling horns that traipse back. And then just this puff of constant purplish violet smoke drifting out of her nostrils. As you see Sumac, the violet Empyrean dragon of Medisansi, curled up, sleeping at the heart of this library. Next to her is a table, and a man is sitting at the table. He's got a quill in his hand, and he's just staring at Sumac. And for a moment, there's clouds drifts out of her mouth, and he looks for a second, and then you see him write that down. And you know enough to know that Sumac is the prophecy, is thought to be their domain, and ever since she went to sleep, there's always someone stationed next to her writing down what she said. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez.
Whether I want him to pass or fail.
Sorry, Mar and Kaimana simultaneously wherever you are, make a wisdom saving.
Oh,
What?
jeez.
What?
Oy.
25.
You're good.
18.
18,
18
Alright.
plus 2, 20.
20. Marlo,
Oh my god.
as you're walking back from the Prisma Quarter to the Naiad's Bargain, there's a moment where you are pierced with a feeling of grief. And you see in your mind, just for a moment, the purple-violet essence of a towering god. And it slices itself in half, and you see its essence coalesce into a key and fall away. As you witness the death of a god, the echo. At that exact moment in time, Abel, your eyes go white, and your mouth starts speaking. But from your mouth is the voice of Sumac. The cloud towers towards the violet den. Azulor, ancient and powerful, threatened and washed ashore. And then you come.
Do I remember any of that?
You do.
What the fuck?
And that's what we'll pick up next time.
Another hand touches the beacon.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So-
can you type that and send it to the chat?
Yes, I will. I'll send it to everybody.
I was right. It's going for Azalor. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So the violet cloud tramples towards the den. Azulor, the ancient, powerful, crumbles.
I'm thinking when you do sneak into Bogtown, steal the other 2 Tide Bonds.
Let's go through the king's birthday first, and then
Yeah.
we'll make our crazy plans.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we for
Alright.
sure. I mean, that's for sure. Like next week is all right. Get our asses to down to the Spanish Isles.
Yep. So next session, Jury and Abel, be prepared to go before this. The whatever. I assume you guys are going to go to the fighting pit at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Hell yeah.
And then the next day, if there's anything else downtime wise, I know Source, you wanted to do some reading in your book, so that might be a good day for that. But
We've got
Because
to
of
take
how
time on it to get a tattoo.
because of how the timeline falls to that night, I'm gonna want to go to the Vox Populi headquarters.
cool. Anything like what kind of tattoo were you specifically looking for, Atwood?
Strength.
Strength. Okay, it's 2,000 gold. So as long as the group puts it together for you.
I can just get it for you.
Yeah.
On it, like straight up. I mean, hold on. I spent 1,000 already. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still have 39.45.
Oh my god.
I had so much money.
You did win the pot at the drunk
Yeah,
festival,
I got like 35,000 gold out of
Okay.
that.
So before you all head to the pit, we can say that anybody who wanted a tattoo, that Linux would have had a few hours to do a couple. So 2 more tattoos during that time. So Kaimana's strength, and Kaimana, these tattoos have to go on your arms. But when you talk to him about your essence or whatever, he builds these like twisting vines that almost seem to like start at your wrist and then go up your arm and twist around. And it's almost like empowering the essence of the woods into you. But they shimmer with a light ruby coloration up your arm.
Sure, do you want to get yours?
Sure,
or
Sure.
do I get my
Jordan
one?
has not decided what to get yet.
Just go ahead and give yourself the +1 on your strength. Just modify your thing and do that.
I'm
And
gonna
Soros
do
wants
the
the
one-
other one.
The one about natural armor class.
Yes, and that was 5. Was it a say 500 gold? Or
Yeah.
4 or 500 gold. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So for the base
emotionally-
12, and I'm gonna just undo my bracer.
Okay.
Attunement and attune to
Yeah.
that instead.
Yeah, and that one I'll send you the. Well, you already have it, so you've got the stat block for that. So that tattoo is like shields and arms. So it goes across your chest. There's 2 flanking shields that kind of go up onto your shoulders, and that give you that natural armor. This is also one he shows you. He gives you the needle that he used to make that one. You can disattune to the tattoo. And all you have to do is you place the needle at the center and you say the word that he teaches you, and all of the ink will go back into the tattoo, and you can disattune from the tattoo at a later time if you want.
Okay.
That's cool.
All right. So we'll pick up there next week with another day of downtime in Anarvir, as well as the investigation of Yori and Tal'Daran. And the
Jesus.
sneaky shit that's happening there. All right.
Great. Love that.
Yeah.
Why is Volmir Rylus there? Why is
Lenaria told
Volmir
you.
there?
Lenaria told you.
What is he doing?
Being a bitch.
He's watching the proceedings as the
And for
court
what?
mage.
For what, Volmir?
All right. We'll pick up there next time.
Alright.
My AC goes up by
Bye.
1.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye, all.
Bye.